In this video, I want us to have a look at a recent survey done by BBC. BBC did a research among African youths between the ages of 18 to 24 years, where they were asked a very simple question: is my country heading in the right direction? And then from the results there, the red is the wrong direction, green is the right direction. Rwanda, wrong direction 40, right direction 60. Ghana, wrong direction 41, right direction 56. Uganda 58, 38. Mozambique 65, 34. Gabon 64, 31. And jump down there to Kenya, the third last. Wrong direction 84%. Right direction 16%. So only 16% of Kenyans between the ages 18 to 24 found the country going the right direction. Only 16%. A whopping 84% said the country is heading in the wrong direction. And that's something that cannot be wished away. I want us to dig deep into this, considering the fact that Ruto has been going everywhere across the country, saying he has stabilized the economy. And already, he has started 2027 presidential campaigns. I want us to dig deep into this, considering all those factors. If you are watching us but you are not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's proceed. Let me start by saying this. A few weeks ago, Tifa and Infotrack released some opinion polls that indicated over 71% of Kenyans felt the country was headed the wrong direction. And anytime such polls are released, William Ruto and his team are always very quick to rubbish the polls that have been sponsored by their political enemies. So Ruto has succeeded in convincing his supporters that science is not science, that those are just numbers being peddled around. And he might be having some point in that maybe himself, as Ruto, might have compromised some polls in releasing some results. But the truth of the matter, a scientific survey properly done always mirrors what is happening on the ground. I don't know what Ruto and his team will be saying will be saying of this research by BBC. The research shows it very well that 84% of our youths feels the country is heading in the wrong direction. So the big question again, why is Ruto saying the country has been stabilized? The economy has been stabilized. And for those who can remember, about 3 months ago, Rigathi Gachagua himself, less than 3 months ago, Rigathi Gachagua himself said that Ruto had delivered 50% of the promises he made. And Ruto, in the recent days, has been saying he has stabilized the economy. So it appears that Ruto and his team, they choose when to say that the economy is stable and when to say the economy is bad because of Uhuru Kenyatta. Where is that stabilizing of the economy? Why is it that the ground is not feeling it? Why is it that Kenyans are not feeling it? The first answer, William Ruto is playing politics of propaganda with Kenyans. This whole concept and whole narrative that Uhuru Kenyatta destroyed the economy and now we are struggling to stabilize the economy, or we have stabilized the economy. All those are just lies, politics of propaganda. The truth of the matter, William Ruto and his team are destroying this economy. If you compare the strength of Kenya's economy when Uhuru Kenyatta was there and now when Ruto is there, our country is becoming weak and weaker. Our economy is becoming weaker. So it's very clear that William Ruto and his team are just playing politics of propaganda. They have not stabilized the economy. And that's why Kenyans on the ground are not feeling it. And then secondly, if you look at those African countries that have been listed in that research, you are getting it that Kenyans are more pessimistic of their country more than any other African country. And if you look at 2002, Kenya was ranked as the most optimistic country in the whole world. In William Ruto's government, Kenya is coming out as one of the most pessimistic countries in the whole world, courtesy to William Ruto's bad rule. Because Ruto, to be honest, is a very good example of a bad African leader. I honestly believe that for a country to grow, then its top leadership has to uphold the rule of law. A leader cannot be the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. What we are seeing in Kenya, Ruto has turned himself into all these three arms of the government. He is the executive, he is the legislature, and he is the judiciary. And I'm saying that because it's clear, members of parliament, for them to pass any bill, they must get directions from the executive, who in this case is clearly William Ruto. And also the courts, from the kinds of rulings they've been making, you are seeing clearly that it might be possible that William Ruto has also succeeded in influencing the courts. So Ruto has turned himself into the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive. So the rule of law is actually not being, the rule of law is clearly not being upheld here. So it's clear that William Ruto is weakening the independent institutions, and that can only lead to anarchy. And already we have seen what anarchy can breed in a country. We are seeing, for example, in Gabon, where the rule of law was actually done away with by the leadership in Gabon. We have seen a coup. We also saw that in Niger. We saw in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Chad. We have seen all these countries where their leaders disregarded the constitution, and that led to anarchy. If William Ruto and his team are not very keen, then most definitely that's where, as a country, we are heading to. It's clearly a pure anarchy. It's as if the constitution has been suspended. As I conclude, the research also goes on to confirm that as time goes by, William Ruto is becoming more and more unpopular on the ground. That's something coming out very, very clearly. And as time goes by, it's almost certain and very clear he's going to be a very unpopular president. So the only thing that will bring back William Ruto in power in the event of an election is maybe if he rigs the election. But if it's about the votes, then it's a fact and it's very clear he will lose the popular vote, ladies and gentlemen. Let me stop it there. In case you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. For those who may want to support our forum, I've pinned my number on the comment section. contact me through that number. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.